Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is Montana This Morning from Montana's news leader.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Justine Stewart.
And I'm Lou Stewart. Hope you're having a great start to your Monday. Justine, 1 week from today, we'll be talking about being Christmas at this time. Crazy.
That's right. You ready for it?
I think so. We're getting all the shopping done. Family's coming in this week.
That's right. You have a lot of family coming in.
Yeah, I got a lot of family, so we're getting ready for that. And Justine, 1 week at this time, we're going to be talking about high temperatures, highs in the single digits.
Oh, very cold
It's
Christmas.
going to be really cold all through Christmas, but leading up to there, got a lot of active weather, rain and snow in the forecast. So let's go ahead and talk about this. Winter weather advisory in place. This is now through 11 a.m. this morning for all the areas in purple. Now, except for the Missoula and Bitterroot Valley. That is going to be until 9 a.m. because we're talking about pockets of freezing rain. Mountains in this location, 4 to 8 inches of snow. We could be talking about 1 to 3 inches of snow in the northwest valleys. And then the heaviest bands of snow, though, those are going to roll in tonight. So here's your forecast headlines. Active weather setup like we talked about. Valley rain and snow. Heavy mountain snow. We're talking about accumulation in upwards of more than 2-3 feet possible for the mountains. Cold air arrives with more snow on Wednesday. And like I mentioned, single digits and teens by the end of the week.
Top Republicans say they expect to pass their tax overhaul this week. GOP leadership insists it has the votes despite the fact that Arizona Senator John McCain will miss the vote while still battling an aggressive brain tumor. McCain, who was being treated for a viral infection, has returned to Arizona for physical therapy and rehabilitation. President Trump is continuing to face heat from environmental organizations over the announcement that he and Secretary of the Interior Ryan Zinke would downsize several national monuments in Utah by roughly 2 million acres. A coalition of 10 conservationist groups, along with several Native American tribes, are suing President Trump himself, Secretary Zinke, and the Bureau of Land Management. Montana senators are split on the issue and spoke to MTN News after the announcement of the rollback almost 2 weeks ago.
And that is, I support Secretary Zinke. What he's trying to do here is allow the states to have a louder voice in this process versus having Washington, D.C. bureaucrats or the executive branch of our government, I think, overreach and have too much power wielding that over the states. It's important that we allow public use of our public lands.
The monuments across this country have spurred incredible amount of economy in our outdoor industries. They've supported jobs. They've improved quality of life. And I think rolling back these monuments just undermines local public support for these things.
It's a move that's being praised by friends on the other side of the aisle. Representative Greg Gianforte introduced 2 bills in the U.S. House to advance the Yellowstone Gateway Protection Act. These bills would stop the mining efforts in the Paradise Valley. The first one would conserve a portion of the East Rosebud Creek north of Yellowstone National Park under the Wild and Scenic Rivers Act. The creek is a popular recreation destination and an important part of Montana's $6 billion recreation and tourism industry. The second one is the Yellowstone Gateway Protection Act. It withdraws mineral rights and bans mining operations on public land in the area north of the park. The bill mirrors legislation introduced earlier this year by Montana Senator Jon Tester and is being praised by business owners in Park County and environmentalists. Well, now with the detection of chronic wasting disease in Montana, Winston Greeley tells us how Fish, Wildlife and Parks is planning to manage the disease in this week's Outdoor Report.
Through surveillance efforts, Fish, Wildlife and Parks detected chronic wasting disease, or CWD, this fall in Montana.
CWD is universally fatal to those unfortunate animals that get it, and those are animals of the deer family.
CWD is a slow-moving disease that can last a long time on the landscape. So FWP has devised a management strategy to try to contain this disease.
What we hope to do in the long term is to keep the prevalence low, that is the percent of a herd that's infected with it. If we can keep it low, say 5% or lower, and keep it from spreading, that is what we're looking to do.
Currently, FWP is conducting a special CWD hunt in south central Montana with the goal to detect prevalence in the area. But in the future, FWP plans to use hunting to minimize the occurrence and spread of CWD.
The long-term management will depend on what that prevalence is. If it's a high prevalence, we'll work to reduce it by reducing deer densities in those hot spots, for example. Also the transport restriction zones, so that we're not humans being an agent for it being transported across the state.
With no cure in sight, and because CWD can take a long time to dramatically impact deer populations, the key will be persistence in managing this disease.
This isn't something like blue tongue or EHD or a hard winter where there are a lot of dead animals on the landscape. It takes a long time to manifest itself at a population level. And so one of the biggest challenges that we're going to face is not this year, but 10 years out or 20 years out. We're still going to have to be managing for CWD.
I'm Winston Greeley, out among Montana's fish, wildlife, and parks.
For more information on CWD, you can visit Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks website. We tend to remember our veterans on Memorial Day and then again on Veterans Day in November, but an effort called Wreaths Across America wants to make sure they aren't forgotten during the holidays. The Western Montana State Veterans Cemetery hosted a ceremony where nearly 400 wreaths were placed on the headstones of our fallen service members. The annual event seeks to further the WAA mission to remember, honor, teach, and to preserve the memory of those who served our country.
Today is actually the 1-year anniversary of the loss of our friend Lori. We're just so blessed to have this space, this beautiful cemetery, a veteran cemetery, that we're able to share her memory together. It means so much today, especially over the holidays.
The Western Montana State Veterans Cemetery held the service alongside more than 1,200 other locations across the country. Over the last few days, Special Operations Santa and his elves have spread joy to veterans across Missoula. Santa Socks is a group that distributed over 600 goodie-filled socks to veterans. Inside these socks are candy canes, hygiene items, and other treats. The elves also handed out thank you letters written by students at Washington Middle School, Rattlesnake School, and Russell School in Missoula. This year, Santa was an Air Force veteran who was excited by the opportunity to give back to men and women he looked up to when he joined the service.
Being able to thank the guys that paved the way for us and being that next generation that paved the way for the younger guys coming in, to me, that's what it's all about. So this has been great, just saying thank you. That's it, to our veterans.
Walmart, Target, Costco, Hilton Garden Inn, Super 8, Doubletree Hotel, and many private citizens donated the materials needed to put the gifts together. And you still have time to donate to our annual holiday food drive. So far, our viewers have donated just over 5,400 pounds of food. If you'd like to help your neighbors, just drop off your food or cash donation at any First Security Bank location. You can find that information on our website at KPAX.com. All right, time to send on over to Lewis now for your weather on the 8s.
All right, thank you, Justine. Good morning, everyone. We're actually seeing some pretty mild temperatures out there this morning. Now we're talking about mountains, all snow, valleys, rain, snow mix, even getting reports of freezing rain this morning. So take it easy out there on the roads. We're already at 40 in Polson, 41 in Hamilton, 37 Kalispell. A bit chilly though, 28 Missoula, and this is where we do have that freezing rain being reported. And then we have some snow being reported around Seeley Lake. So here is your Doppler network. Here's Lolo Pass here. Been seeing some really moderate snowfall for the past several hours. The passes are going to be difficult this morning, and they're going to be just become almost impossible to go over as we roll throughout the next several days, as heavy snow going to be measured in feet for the mountains and passes are going to start tonight all the way through Wednesday evening. Valleys will be looking at just a couple of inches. So let's go ahead and time this out for you here using your Future Track satellite and radar. One of the reasons we're so warm is we have this warm front moving through. So this allowed temperatures in the upper 30s and lower 40s. We'll stop it this afternoon. Notice the mountains, all snow. You see those pinks and greens. That's a mix of rain and snow, rain showers. This afternoon, this precipitation is going to become light and more scattered. However, watch as it really begins to pick up in intensity overnight tonight. The valleys here in west central, southwestern Montana, rain, snow mix. All northwestern Montana, we're talking all snow starting tonight. Continuous snowfall through Tuesday morning all the way into Tuesday afternoon. The main system is going to be in northwestern Montana here. And again, with this warm front, the valleys are going to have trouble picking up a good amount of accumulation for west central and southwest Montana. Notice though, as this cold front moves through by Wednesday, that's going to turn all snow. So a lot to get into, a lot of different snowfall amounts. So here's my best idea to kind of help you time out what we're looking at here. Northwestern Montana, good amount of snow. This is your 3-day snowfall total. This is through Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Notice places like Lookout Pass, 36 to 50 inches. Marias Pass up to 50 inches. And notice the Northwest Montana valleys, a good amount of snow. Seeley Lake over a foot. Southwest Montana in the valleys, anywhere from 2 to 4 inches. So accumulation and a location is going to be a big factor here. Here's your 7-day forecast for Missoula. Notice by the end of the 7-day, highs only in the single digits, upper 30s, lower 40s today and tomorrow for Kalispell, then very cold by the end of the week. Same thing for Hamilton, active through Wednesday, bitterly cold by Christmas weekend.
Bitterly cold. It looks that way.
And we're also talking about some wind. We could be talking about really dangerous wind chills as well, Justine. So after really quiet several weeks, can be really active starting today.
All right. Well, thanks, Lewis. And stick around. We're back with much more. But first, here's some birthday shout-outs for you this morning.